Hello and welcome to this short session to discuss Metso Outotec and sustainability. And as you can know from the heading, sustainability is a strategic priority for Metso Outotec, company that was formed in Metso Minerals and Outotec merger roughly 2.5 years ago. If we look at the big picture, the heading says it all, why we are where we are and what is our purpose. It is enabling sustainable modern life, which basically means that if we as society want to continue living kind of a lifestyle we have been living, so-called modern life, we need to do it more sustainably, and Metso Outotec has a part to play in that development. Looking at the mega trends that are impacting our customers and our businesses, you have them on the left-hand side, and many of those are linked to enabling sustainable modern life, meaning urbanization that will continue globally, electrification, which is one way, even maybe the most significant way to fight climate change, sustainability in its broad form, including not only emissions, but safety, circularity, and so forth, and resource scarcity, as we know that the world is facing at the moment. All of these are pretty big trends that have an impact on us today, and even more so going forward. Then on the right-hand side, if you take a look at our top priorities we have in implementing our strategy, one of those is sustainability. And as I mentioned, after Metso Outotec merger, sustainability was raised as one of the main topics that we have in strategy implementation, even more that the legacy companies had, even though both legacy companies were pretty active in sustainability going forward, but now it has an even bigger role going forward. Also, taking a look at our financial targets, which we have 4, sustainability one of them. 3 others discuss about adjusted EBITA margin of more than 15% over the cycle, paying dividend annually of at least half of annual earnings per share, and from balance sheet point of view, maintaining investment grade credit rating. And then the 4th, kind of a newer one, is our target of progressing in sustainability agenda in alignment with the 1.5-degree climate commitment. And what this means in practice is that sustainability in our industries are mostly about addressing climate change. Our customer industries, which are aggregates industry or construction, to put it more broadly, mining and metals, these are crucial when we want to make the transition from using fossil fuels in our societies to more low carbon operations, drive electrification, use more and more renewables, and also in terms of interruptible power. All of this means that societies, industries will need huge investments in coming years, coming decades, in power transmission infrastructure, grids, electricity shortages, batteries, etc., which in turn means that metal supply, when it comes to electrification metals like copper, battery metals, which are nickel, lithium, and so forth, volumes of those will have to increase significantly. And this means that our customers are in forefront to make sure that output is in line with projected demand, and this electrification and transition will happen. This is not only about electrification or CO2 emissions. I mean, our customer industries have or are facing huge demands when it comes to water management, minimizing water waste, making water use more efficient, and more broadly manage all water-related risks. So one part of kind of our sustainability agenda is also having to do with water. Coming back to the energy side and electrification, if we have this scenario where world needs more metals, minerals to drive electrification, production of these need to be more sustainable going forward, and that has a lot to do with energy efficiency. If you look at the slide, it says that up to 5% of the world's total energy consumption is used when rocks are being crushed and ground, many cases using Metso Outotec machines, into smaller particles that can be then processed all the way to the final metal product. And thinking about the fact that we are a leading player in this field, you could say that roughly 1% of the world's power runs through our equipment when they are used at customers' sites. So it really boils down to what we can do to these customer industries, customers, to make energy efficient happening more, and this transition to be more sustainable going forward. And as we say, we are in these industries an enabler for net zero and decarbonization. And here our technology and innovation plays the biggest role, and that is the way that we can help our customers and make the biggest impact overall in the world. Looking at the three customer industries which I mentioned, aggregates, minerals processing, metals refining, all of them have a little bit different challenges that we are tackling together with our customers. In aggregates, where customers are using either mobile or stationary crushing equipment at infrastructure projects or other type of construction, energy efficiency is one of the main themes, and electrification is another. So what we are driving there is further electrification of our equipment, so that if today roughly half of the equipment we are providing for aggregates industry, this share would go all the way up to 100 over time. It requires still a bit of R&D and product development, but we have plans in place and program in place to do that. When it comes to minerals and metals, where processes are more fixed and they are bigger, their energy efficiency demand is even greater. Water is an issue, as I mentioned, especially in certain parts of the world like Latin America. And different type of circularity becomes more and more important in order to limit waste, in order to use or reuse materials again in processes and so forth. So really the big impact we can make is kind of boiling down to these particular themes across our customer industries. And how we are doing this in the customer front and helping them to reach their sustainability targets. Main role is being played by what we call Planet Positive product portfolio, which I discuss more detail in a second. But other areas are, having all R&D projects with sustainability targets. Last year we were at 95 or so working our way towards having all R&D under sustainability target. We are also decarbonizing our supply chain by partnering with our suppliers and supporting them to commit to science-based targets and other kind of sustainability plans. We have pretty ambitious targets of achieving net zero in our own footprint, in our own operations by 2030. We are pretty well on track with that. And finally, of course, intention is that our operations will cause zero harm to our people, to our contractors, and to everybody around us. So around these topics, we are running our sustainability agenda. Couple of more words about the Planet Positive offering label that we established a little bit less than 2 years ago after the merger. Planet Positive products are products out of our portfolio that are measurably better in terms of their environmental performance. We have a little bit over 100 products in Planet Positive portfolio at the moment. All of these have been measured so that they are better than benchmark product when it comes to energy efficiency, carbon efficiency, water use, and so forth. And these measurements and samples, they are being assessed by third party. So this is not only kind of a Metso Outotec's internal exercise, but we are using experts to verify that we are really doing what we promise in terms of Planet Positive products. We are reporting sales of Planet Positive products every quarter on a 12-month rolling basis, and the latest figure we published was 850 million, which is kind of reasonable share of our total sales, and we project and target Planet Positive sales to grow faster than overall sales and are on good track with that one. And as I mentioned, putting 100% targeted level of R&D into Planet Positive over time, let's say in a decade or so, basically the whole of our portfolio is likely to be Planet Positive and kind of products that help customers, meet their sustainability targets. So, biggest impact we can make to the society in terms of sustainability is through helping our customers, limiting and reducing their emissions. At the same time, of course, we are taking care of our own footprint and contributing to the climate targets through, making our footprint eventually net zero, which is the target, as I mentioned, for 2030. Other targets we have put out and which have been verified by Science Based Targets initiatives are that we reduce CO2 emissions from logistics by 20% by 2025, 20% compared to 2019 level. We were at 18 already at the end of 21, so pretty well on track with achieving the target. And as I mentioned, we are partnering with our suppliers so that 30% of suppliers measured by spend would have science-based targets by 2025. And at the end of last year, we were at 10%. I guess latest figure was 18% or so. But bringing and driving that development further so that we can eventually be at the targeted level. So this was in brief Metso Outotec's approach to sustainability, and hopefully I made a good point that it is a strategic priority, and while making sure that we are as efficient as we can be in our own footprint, the biggest impact once again will come through our customers and mining industry, the relevant part where we are playing role, has annual emissions about 200 million tons of CO2, aggregates industry another 100 or 200. So the opportunity there is many times more than what we have in our own footprint, and that's why we are so interested and committed and excited to drive our Planet Positive initiatives further and make sure that the industries will be less carbon intensive and more sustainable going forward. Thank you, and now to the questions.